Association.
Tonight on NJTV News, curbing addiction.
Behind me, members of the DEA, CDC, Newark Public Schools. What are they working toward? Combating the opioid crisis.
Stockton University pulls the cover off its Atlantic City campus that's on the beach and the boardwalk.
Plus, the stately monarch butterflies need human help to ward off extinction. Got milkweed? And brace for a bigger bite out of your wallet, the gas tax is going up again. Those stories and more next on NJTV News.
Live from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio at 2 Gateway Center in Newark, this is NJTV News with Mary Alice Williams.
Hello, thank you for joining us. In Essex County, with the highest rates of substance abuse in the state, a new tack to tackle the opioid crisis. It's an unlikely collaboration of leaders from diverse arenas determined to curb drug addiction. Brianna Vannozzi reports.
A plea today from top drug enforcement officials.
To our community members that are in the streets at that grassroots level here in Newark, we need your help.
Breaking down silos to help groups fighting the opiate crisis as addictions continue to claim lives and tear through communities. This working group, convened by the DEA and the Milken Institute at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield's Newark headquarters, is hoping to create an action plan, pulling leaders from uncommon backgrounds for a common goal.
We're going to look back every quarter and say, okay, you said you were going to do this. Did you actually do it? You said you were going to change this outcome by this measure.
Essex County leads the state in drug overdose deaths according to the DEA, and the overall numbers are startling. In 2017, there were 2,700 drug overdose fatalities in New Jersey. 333 of those came out of Essex. But 2018 is on track to surpass that. As of now, nearly 2,000 drug overdose deaths statewide, with 264 coming out of Essex County.
This is something that we've been dealing with in our community since the late 60s. So it's nothing really new to us. The new part of it is that we finally decided to collaborate and treat it like a public health issue.
There's a lot of great ideas out there. There's a lot of great projects and efforts underway, but many of them can't be funded because we just don't have money to do it.
In response to the crisis, the DEA created the 360 strategy, a collaborative community plan to reach people young and old in innovative ways before they start using.
Here's what's a little different about today's forum. Collaborators are grouped together into working groups. So you have workplace, innovation, and policy, pulling all of their strengths together to find a solution.
We hope these work streams will continue coming out of the meeting and will help pull it through. So more of an action-oriented meeting as opposed to just convening and collaborating.
Like Denisa Williamson, who runs one of the only peer-to-peer programs in Newark, helping children with emotional trauma so they don't turn to substance abuse.
Why is that peer model working for the youth in Newark?
Because they're not being judged by like an adult. Sometimes you feel like uncomfortable talking to an adult. Oh, you don't get it, you don't understand. But when they hear it from their peers, that I get it, I've been there, I've experienced these kind of things, I've made it through, so can you. So it makes them feel more relaxed in knowing that there's somebody who's willing to walk that journey that looks exactly like them.
But with new, potent drugs hitting the streets daily, those answers can't come soon enough. In Newark, Brianna Vannozzi, NJTV News.
The rising cost of fueling up tops tonight's business news. Standing by at the Strategic Development Group studio at the NJCU School of Business is Rhonda Schaffler. Rhonda?
Mary Alice, New Jersey residents are now facing an unexpected tax hike. The State Treasury Department announced today that New Jersey's gas tax will increase by 4.3 cents a gallon as of the 1st of October. The money is needed to fund the Transportation Trust Fund. The Murphy administration says the Christie administration overestimated gas consumption rates and chose not to increase the gas tax last year. Fuel consumption rates ended up being lower than expected, resulting in a shortfall for the TTF. The pension fund for New Jersey state workers has invested $500 million with a company connected to the investigation of Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer. That's according to NJ Advance Media. Under the Christie administration, the state invested money with Chatham Asset Management, a hedge fund company that has taken control of American Media, which publishes the National Enquirer. Media outlets report executives from America Media have been granted immunity and are cooperating with federal prosecutors looking into alleged payments to women who claim to have relationships with Trump. Chatham did not respond to questions about the potential financial exposure for taxpayers and pension systems from American Media's legal issues. The state of Ohio also invested with Chatham. Meantime, New Jersey State Investment Council says it will remain in contact with the financial firm to review any potential liability from the investment. Camden-based Campbell Soup plans to sell off some of its business units to try to improve its finances. The company revealed its long-awaited strategic plan today after months of pressure from investors who are unhappy with its performance. Campbell will now seek buyers for both its fresh foods business and its international business, and plans to refocus on its core snacks and soup franchises. But Campbell still faces significant challenges. Soup sales continue to slump. They were down 14% in the latest quarter. The company is also facing rising costs, partly due to steel and aluminum tariffs, and it's still unknown whether those stock investors pushing for change will be satisfied with Campbell's announcement. Campbell's board kept alive the possibility of a complete sale of the company, saying it remains open to evaluating all strategic options. The company's stock has lost about 20% in the past year. Employees of the federal government won't receive pay raises next year. President Trump says civilian employees will not get the 2.1% across-the-board pay raise that was set to take place in January. The president said he is working to, quote, put our nation on a fiscally sustainable course. He says by eliminating the raises, the government will save more than $25 billion. Finally, cannabis is coming to college. Stockton University is now offering a minor in cannabis studies. According to the university, the minor offers students a foundation for understanding the cannabis industry. It's being offered at a time when New Jersey is expanding its medical cannabis dispensaries, and some lawmakers are backing the legalization of marijuana for recreational use. On Wall Street, stocks sold off after Bloomberg News reported President Trump would support moving ahead with more tariffs against China as early as next week. The Dow fell 137 points. And those are your top business stories.
With polls showing New Jersey's U.S. Senate race tightening, the incumbent has just gotten a big boost. The state's largest teachers union has thrown its support behind Senator Bob Menendez, who's seen his lead over Republican challenger Bob Hugin dwindling. The NJEA cites Menendez's support for paid family, sick, and medical leave and free community college, and his votes against Education Secretary Betsy DeVos and her policies. A state senator is calling on the state attorney general to investigate sexual abuse inside the Catholic Church. Senator Joseph Vitale said he was compelled to act following the resignation of former Cardinal Theodore McCarrick amid allegations he sexually abused young boys, seminarians, and priests, and the financial payouts the Archdiocese of Newark made privately. Vitale wants a grand jury impaneled, the names of those credibly accused made public, and the state's 2-year statute of limitations in sex abuse cases eliminated. He's requested a meeting with Newark Cardinal Joseph Tobin, who's already ordered a re-examination of sexual abuse cases involving clergy. No comment yet from either the Attorney General's office or the New Jersey Catholic Conference. Stockton University's opened the doors to its new campus within earshot of the breakers and the boardwalk with killer views to match. Michael Hill got a tour.
Where else in America, from a college dorm room, a school can boast boardwalk and beach views?
What's it like living here, guys?
Unbelievable. I didn't expect it to be as amazing as it is.
I showed them a little video when I got settled in. They're like, can I stay there too?
These students are the first to live on Stockton University's new Atlantic City campus, a stone's throw from the beachfront towers that made this gaming mecca famous, and an industry on the rebound. An unwelcomed enticement for students?
I think it's an advantage for Stockton students. We have a lot of hospitality and tourism students, so they're in their classroom.
I plan on actually taking my work to the beach and actually just sitting there and doing some OT studies and things like that, since I'm an occupational therapy major. So I can work on the body parts and things like that, so I think the beach is a nice place.
The new residence halls, complete with kitchenettes, student lounges, and study halls,
sort of reminiscent, it's our version of the Spanish Steps in Europe,
can accommodate 534 students. Across the street sits the new 56,000 square foot academic hall. The school says this campus has the capacity to seat 2,100 students in more than 100 classes and in high-tech rooms. Perhaps 5,000 if and when Stockton buys the shuttered The Atlantic Club Casino and Hotel, where Steve Wynn built part of his gaming empire in the 1980s. For now, Stockton incorporates the work of local artists, builders, and businesses, and promises to be the partner critics have long accused the casino industry here of not being: a good neighbor.
A couple of years ago, the state of New Jersey designated Stockton as an anchor institution for the city of Atlantic City. And what that means is that not only are we here to provide academic opportunities, but also we're here to help become part of an economic revival of the city.
Stockton's brand new cafeteria, not just for students who will have no meal plans, but for the public as well. The school's Osprey program allows students to load their identification cards with cash to encourage them to shop at local grocery stores and restaurants. And plenty of retail and potential conference spaces welcome the public. This room bears the name of Fannie Lou Hamer, the Mississippi civil rights crusader who came to Atlantic City in August 1964 to the Democratic National Convention. She was frustrated with the lack of progress in the Jim Crow South, and she uttered the famous words here: "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired."
And this was just another way in which we could honor her.
The City Council has designated this area just south of the casinos a university district. It overlaps other districts and now allows other neighborhoods to invite and build businesses that could cater to the campus. The school says already faculty members are buying homes and moving into Atlantic City. The new campus is chock full of images of Atlantic City's glory days, an era Stockton intends to revive.
It's having corporate entities like South Jersey Gas, whose headquarters will open later this fall on the top of our parking garage, and they're bringing hundreds of new employees to the city. In addition to what's happening with the gaming area, I mean, this has been a phenomenal summer for Atlantic City, and we're very optimistic about Atlantic City in the future.
This is Atlantic City's only university. Buses will shuttle students to and from the main campus in Galloway, about 25 minutes away, where freshman enrollment has been booming, yet the school concedes it seems hidden in the Pinelands National Reserve.
In a matter of just a few months, the number of media attention that we get as a result of being in the world's playground is nothing short of phenomenal.
The university president says this also is about enticing Garden State High School graduates to continue their education in the state. Classes start here next Wednesday with an official ribbon-cutting ceremony September 20th for a school that's sending a not-so-subtle message to and about Atlantic City by erecting buildings with lots of windows instead of walls. In Atlantic City, Michael Hill, NJTV News.
Celebrating a Leaders of Promise scholar, that tops tonight's Garden State Express. Our first stop, Blackwood, where Tiffany Tango says she's come far. Tiffany says she's in recovery and clean for 5 years now. Her sponsor was president of Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society at Camden County College, so Tiffany joined. Now she's one of 207 Phi Theta Kappa members to receive a $1,000 Coca-Cola scholarship based on her scholastic achievement, community service, and leadership potential. Tango's also been awarded 2 other scholarships from the college, including the Addictions Counseling Club scholarship. She'll graduate next spring as a dual major in human services and addictions counseling and plans to continue her education at Rowan University the following fall. Next to Newark, where 1,000 incoming NJIT freshmen help public school teachers get ready for the start of classes, NJIT's first-year Day of Service program for 6 years now has engaged first-year incoming students with the community to demonstrate the value of community service, according to NJIT President Joel Bloom. The incoming freshmen also were deployed to lend a helping hand at food banks, child care learning centers, rehabilitation clinics, and public parks. Finally, Wildwood, where a public Vietnam memorial wall had to undergo emergency repairs after some 74 granite panels were found separated and in danger of falling. The Vietnam Vets of America says the salt air had made the bonding agent brittle. Workers from the Tile Settlers Union Local 7 secured the more severely damaged panels by injecting a better bonding agent between the separations and affixing braces to hold the 40-pound panels in place. The now restored 250-foot-long wall is a replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, which carries the names of the 58,913 service members who died in Southeast Asia. And that's the Garden State Express for Thursday, August 30th. Something up in your neighborhood? Tip us off. There's nearly $2.8 million in the pipeline to support resilience projects along the coastline. The federal grant will be matched by more than $2 million in state funding to address coastal hazards, wetland and shore protection, and aquaculture. Former Governor and EPA Administrator Christy Todd Whitman says the state could pay a high price if it doesn't make shore protection a high priority. In this edition of Governor's Perspectives with Kent Manahan.
New Jersey has 127 miles of Atlantic coast. Governor Whitman, how important are our beaches and our ocean waters to the economy of this state and our well-being into the future?
Oh, extremely important. I mean, tourism is a huge part of our economy, and the shore is the biggest part of that. People come from miles around. I mean, anybody who lives in Pennsylvania, it seems to me, everyone I run into has always had a shore house. They've been at the Jersey Shore for part of the summer. It's a wonderful tourist attraction, and it's discouraging to see now we're getting more of things washing up on the beach and sanitary sewer overflows impacting the beaches. We need to keep the waters clean so that people can enjoy it, and for the most part they are. And it also provides we're able to reopen a whole slew of shellfish beds because that's a part of our economy too.
Do you think reasonable steps are being taken to improve, enhance, protect the beaches, the fishing industry, as you've mentioned, which is part of our economy as well?
In general, we still need to do a lot more for sanitary sewer overflows and anticipating as the climate changes, which it is, we can argue over why, but it is, you get increased sea level rise, which means every time you get a big storm, you get more sea level intrusion further back in. And that changes the nature of the ecology in the wetlands and the marshes surrounding. And it means that the next time there's a big storm and high tide, say a king tide, when you have a full moon and a high tide at the same time, and if you get a storm then, it's going to come much further back in. That draws out, besides being a threat to the homes that are there and the people who live along there, it also means that you have saltwater. When you have saltwater intrusion, that kills a lot of the vegetation that's natural there, and it means the next time it can be worse. So it builds on itself.
In terms of development, New Jersey has certainly allowed dense development in our coastal areas, very close to the ocean waters. How important is the monitoring of that as we move into the future, and the consequences if we don't do it properly?
Well, that's one of the places where we haven't done as much as we've needed to do. I mean, I was hopeful that after Sandy that we would have learned a lesson and been more aggressive, and we haven't been. And I go down to the shore and you see communities that have rebuilt exactly the way that they were before. Part of that is a problem with having the federal government in insurance, because they basically, with FEMA, pay people to build back the way they were, where they were. It's not always saying you can't build back there, but it's saying if you do build back where you were before, you've got to raise them. You've got to, there's certain precautions you have to take. Otherwise, it's all of us as taxpayers who end up paying for this redevelopment if it's done wrong.
What role does science play in all of these decisions to safeguard these assets?
Oh, you've got to rely on science. You've got to rely on what the scientists are seeing as far as anticipating the sea level rise, anticipating the frequency of storms, the severity of storms. What they tell us becomes extremely important for planning. That's why we have to look at climate change, because it's happening. We know it's happening. We see it happening. We've seen storms. They may not have all been here on our coast, but look at what's happening around the world, and it's something that impacts all of us. And so we're foolhardy not to take this seriously, sit down and say, okay, what can we do to mitigate what's coming at us? And it's about being smart about understanding cost avoidance, that by spending some money now up front, we can avoid spending a whole lot of money later on to deal with the consequences of not taking action. I mean, there really is a price to pay for not taking action.
Governor Whitman, thank you very much for sharing your views.
Pleasure.
Monarch butterflies are starting their annual migration to Mexico, even as the plants they rely on to rest and refuel and regenerate their numbers are dwindling. Leah Mishkin reports on their flight and their plight.
Very gently. Okay, now see if you can find a flower that it might like.
This monarch butterfly was just tagged as a way for Kansas University to track its migration.
Oh, bye. God bless you. It comes to New Jersey in the late spring and stays around for the summer and then heads to Mexico.
Somerset County Master Gardener Cindy Hedden calls the monarch butterfly an iconic figure in the insect world, easily identified by its orange and black coloring.
Coming out of the chrysalis is just magical. I mean, you've seen this green thing hanging there, and then you see the wings start to show color through the chrysalis shell, and then it pops open, and the first thing that comes out is this large abdomen filled with fluid that the butterfly will pump out into its wings.
The female can lay up to 500 eggs, but Hedden says only 2% will survive to become adult butterflies. But that's not the reason the monarch population is on the decline.
Because milkweed is the only thing that the monarch butterfly will lay her eggs on, and the only thing that the monarch caterpillar will eat.
And Hedden says milkweed is disappearing.
There's more shopping malls, housing developments, so you don't have the milkweed growing out in nature the way it used to be.
Senior conservation ecologist at the Field Museum, Dr. Abigail Derby-Lewis, says the population of monarch butterflies has been dropping. Research showing there were nearly 1 billion monarchs in 1996 and only about 34 million by 2013.
There's a lot of drivers of that, but certainly, as you mentioned, habitat loss is the biggest driver. And so the goal is 225 million monarchs. And that number isn't arbitrary. It's a number that scientists think could minimize the risk, the danger zone, if you will, of extinction.
Lewis says we need 1.8 billion more stems of milkweed on the ground to stabilize the monarch population.
Being able to engage people widely across the country, many different people in many different places, will have to happen.
Her research asks the question, what role can cities play?
There's already quite a bit of milkweed and pollinator habitat on the ground in our cities. We found over 41 million stems of milkweed on the ground in these 4 large metro areas, with the potential to put so much more. And so I think one of the surprising parts was that potential.
Lewis says it will take all land use types to meet the goal, including urban landscapes.
Our research shows that cities can actually have nearly 30% of a contribution toward that national goal. Those are all cities east of the Rocky Mountains, including along our coastal areas on the East Coast. And so folks in New Jersey, no matter where you are, that is habitat that monarchs need and seek out. And in many ways, if you plant it, they will come.
These New Jersey residents are already helping the monarchs survive, one butterfly at a time. In Far Hills, Leah Mishkin, NJTV News.
And now some noteworthy facts that help you know Jersey. The Wildwoods Vietnam Veterans Remembrance Wall is an exact half-size replica of the memorial in Washington, D.C. In the most recent poll, Bob Menendez led GOP challenger Bob Hugin by 6 percentage points. Prior to 2016, New Jersey had the second lowest gas tax in the nation. Come October, it'll be the 5th highest. And the Monarch Monitoring Project says one monarch butterfly made it from Cape May to Georgia in just 3 days. If there's someone who you'd like to get to know Jersey, share. Use hashtag #KnowJersey. Tomorrow on NJTV News, the South Jersey AFL-CIO honors Labor Day. And tonight on NJTV, a look at the legacy of the great number 42, Jackie Robinson. Do you have a favorite place in New Jersey? Advance it through the bracket in our tourism tournament on Facebook. To play, just click on the picture of your pick when it's up for a vote and watch it beat the competition. To share any story you've seen tonight, go to njtvnews.org. I'm Mary Alice Williams. For all the men and women of NJTV News, thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.
The members of the New Jersey Education Association, making public schools great for every child. And PSE&G, we make things work for communities. Funding for Governor's Perspectives with Kent Manahan is made possible by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, committed to helping Americans lead healthier lives and get the care they need. Additional funding provided by Connell Foley, LLP, Seton Hall University and Seton Hall Law, and by New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group.